Today, we're gonna turn this blank wall into this
awesome French cleat wall.
So as you can see here, I was helping my buddy remodel his house and he got rid of a wall, so I took all the pine, and there's no other real good use for pine except wall studs. So we're gonna use the ram set to get them up there, drive in some Tapcom screws, hold it to the wall, and then we'll start cutting our French cleats. Let's get to it.
One eternity later.
I tell you what, guys, that hammer drill is a workout. All right, so we got it all prepped and ready to go. So our hole's cut out. What I did, I took some scrap 2x4s and I screwed it into the bottom. Because our plywood is gonna be flush to the bottom of this 2x4, we can set it right on there, position it right. Then, just to hold it in place, I'm gonna use some of these trim head screws. This is not gonna hold it permanently because the head's just way too small, but it'll hold it long enough for me to get it on there, held to the 2x4s, and get some bigger screws in there. So let's grab our panel. Oh, golly. Okay. Holy crap. Okay. Looks like I need to do some trimming. All right. A little bit of persuasion. There we go. Alright, so this is our 3/4 inch maple plywood. We're going to cut this into strips and tack it up on the board, and we'll have our French cleat wall. Let me just find my saw really quick. Oh, here it is. Well, that was pretty easy. Let's cut our miters. Okay, so cutting down these miters, I want to explain this for a second. All of our strips are in 6-inch strips. But in order to cut them in half, there's a little bit of a formula. So we start off with 6 inches, right? Half of that would be 3 inches. But in order to cut a 45-degree angle, we have to set our fence not to 3 inches, but we minus half of the thickness. So since our boards are 3 3/4 of an inch, we have to take off 3/8 of an inch, which means we are gonna set our fence not at 3 inches, but we're gonna set it at 2 5/8. Right, 2 5/8 with a 45-degree angle on it, and cut all of these strips down. So when you first cut these miters, it's gonna leave you with this really, really sharp edge. You don't want to cut yourself on it, but it's also fragile, so you don't want it to break. So run it through your table saw while the blade is at a 90 degrees and just nip off that little end, and it'll prevent it from breaking later. But now that they're all cut, let's get them up on the wall. No, just keep recording. Why? Because you usually forget to turn it back on. So now I can get empty footage of me filling up my glue bottle. Fantastic. Hope you're enjoying this, Joe, as you edit this video. Hey, me from the future. I just want to take a quick second to explain why I did what I did.
I've seen a lot of French cleat videos out there, and a lot of them do the same thing, where they put screws through the face into their backboard. And I did not want to have screws exposed on the outside. I think doing just glue and brads gives it a much cleaner look. The downside of that is some people say that it won't be just as strong. But I'm telling you, I've had this up for a week now, and it's super strong. Let's do the 250-pound tub of lard test. That's all my weight hanging on it. And it's totally fine. So if you want to build a French cleat wall and leave it super clean like this, glue and brads is the way to go.
That sucked. But it looks good anyway. Well guys, I hope you enjoyed this build. I think the French cleat wall turned out awesome, and it's going to be a great addition to my shop. I've already started making some tool holders, and there's going to be plenty more to come. I'm probably not going to do videos on just the tool holders themselves because it's probably specific to your tools or my tools, so, but just giving you some ideas. If you guys got some more ideas on what things I should do, add them in the comments below. But anyway, thank you guys for joining me on this build at Shepherd's Workbench. We'll see you in the next one.